Good morning, everybody. It's Sarah. How is everyone? I have been, well, my ego would say I've been negligent in following through with what I intended with reading a lesson a day. And that has been a real struggle for me. And I am just standing back and observing ego's attack on me for not following through. That perfection thing. I think I was on here the Thursday before or the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and I've been struggling with attack thoughts ever since. And it's funny, I'm observing it, and I think in the past, a lot of things that I've wanted to do and I've set out to do, I have been sabotaged in some way by, well, if I'm not going to do it perfect, I'm not going to do it at all. That's a theme I'm uncovering in my life through doing this on YouTube with A Course in Miracles. It's a big lesson for me. So I'm pushing through, and where we left off was lesson number 10, which was my thoughts do not mean anything. So this morning is Sunday, which is a beautiful holy day. Sunday's always been a very special day. There's quite an energy on Sunday of holiness for me anyway. It's just a day of rest. I don't know, there's a certain feeling about Sundays. I believe there is. There's an energy that comes through on Sundays that's peace, that's peaceful, and there's a golden light around Sundays. So, lesson number 11, excuse me. This is a very raw thing that I'm doing. I'm getting on here when I get up in the morning and I'm not doing anything. And I'm just being who I am, being a human being, being the truth of who we are without covering anything up, just being. Oh, it's so freeing to just let go and not to seek approval and have to get myself ready and put on the facade that we all show to the world, and to just be love, be peace, be joy, and share that with all of my brothers and sisters, and know that that's okay. It's perfectly fine. We are all one, and we're all in this together. So lesson number 11 is my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. This is the first idea we have had that is related to a major phase of the correction process, the reversal of the thinking of the world. It seems as if the world determines what you perceive. Today's idea introduces the concept that your thoughts determine the world you see. Your thoughts determine the world you see, not the other way around. Be glad indeed to practice this idea in its initial form, for in this idea is your release made sure. The key to forgiveness lies in it. The practice period for today's idea are to be undertaken somewhat differently from the previous ones. Begin with your eyes closed and repeat the idea slowly to yourself. Then open your eyes and look about, near and far, up and down, anywhere. During the minute or so to be spent in using the idea, merely repeat it to yourself, being sure to do so without haste and with no sense of urgency or effort. To do these exercises for maximum benefit, the eyes should move from one thing to another fairly rapidly, since they should not linger on anything in particular. The words, however, should be used in an unhurried, even leisurely fashion. The introduction to this idea, in particular, should be practiced as casually as possible. It contains the foundation for the peace, relaxation, and freedom from worry that we're trying to achieve. On concluding the exercises, close your eyes and repeat the idea once more slowly to yourself. 3 practice periods today will probably be sufficient. However, if there is little or no uneasiness and an inclination to do more, as many as 5 may be undertaken. More than this is not recommended. Again, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. It seems as if the world determines what you perceive. But this idea is really that your thoughts determine the world that you see. So think about that. If each of us individually has all these thoughts, we are all living in a different world based on what we think and what we project out into the world. The world is not coming in and creating our world. We are creating our world by what we perceive and how we perceive it. Again, it's that idea about projecting our thoughts on objects. And for whatever, all of us could be looking at a tree, but all of us have a different perception about the tree. And that makes that tree to us different than to the person next to us. And that idea about the tree is for every single thing in the world that we see and every interaction that we have. So think about that. We all are living in a different world. And we have to realize that our thoughts, my meaningless thoughts, are showing me a meaningless world. So practice that today. And just know that God is with you always. And that and when I say God, that's a hard one for a lot of people, the word God. Okay, it has a lot of meaning. But remember, when I say God, it's not necessarily God. It's whatever you want it to be. Whatever makes you feel safe. There are so many words for God. The universe, spirit, all the words are interchangeable. I'm not placing a meaning on the word God. For some people, it's a bad God, a good God, the God they learned in church when they were young. Some people have been turned off by that word. A lot of people are turned off by that word. But it's just a word. And we all perceive it in a different way. It's like the tree. God can be anything for anybody. And whatever that is for you is perfect. So don't get turned off by the word God and how I say it. It's just a word. It's a symbol. It's a symbol of a thought that you learned. So anything that is your God, that is something for your higher good, nature, the woods, the sky, it can be anything. It doesn't need to be limited to that word and that meaning. And that's with anything in this life. That's what we're going to learn here, that we are putting the meaning on everything. But that's not necessarily all the meaning that there is about that thing. We just have to I guess what I'm saying is we have to open our minds and really, really, really be willing to do that. And when you do that and you open your mind, magic happens. So I'm excited to be back, and I am doing the very best I can. And that's all we can do in this life, is the very best that we can. That's it. And not to attack ourselves for not living up to some ideal of who we are or what we need to do. Just be and do what you can do, and that's it. No more guilt, and no more pain, and no more suffering. We're not here to suffer. We're not here to feel bad and then die. We are here to love ourselves and to love others, and we are here to experience life and love and joy. We're not here to suffer. No more suffering. It's not about that. It's about enjoying and loving and peace. And it can come when we reverse the way that we look at the world. So take care and have a beautiful Sunday. And remember that we are all one. We are all connected. And anything that we think and anything that we do has an effect on everything else. That's a huge thing to think about. Every movement we make and every thought we think and every interaction with all of our brothers and sisters, we're all connected so strongly to one another. So take care, and I will see you soon. Lesson number 11, practice, and remember to put out into the world what you'd like to receive. Take care. I'll talk soon.